What's going on, world? It's your boy at Big Game James _36, and this is Big Games BS, part of Den Media Group, presented by MFTK Foundation and all the different things that we have going on with that. Make sure you stay tuned. MFTKFoundation.com website that you can go to for all of the different things that we have going on. My 6th annual book bag drive is coming up here. We will be hopefully doing 4 different cities this year. We definitely know about Jacksonville, Tallahassee, and Orlando. I'm looking to get Tampa involved. Had a great call with the Tampa group out of Tampa. Looks very, very extremely promising. And the goal is to go out there, impact, and reach as many young men, young families as possible. As we get more of that stuff going, we'll let you guys know what we have as 7-on-7 season comes to a close and wrap up. We'll also be highlighting some of the guys who are on Team MFTK that are going to get a chance to go on and perform during OT7. So so just a lot of good that's been going on with the foundation as we continue to grow. MFTKFoundation.com. If you would like to go donate, there's a way to do that through credit card, ACH, or whatever makes you happy. And we also have Cash App as well. So on that note, spring break is coming to a close here in Jacksonville. I've been on the road a lot. Next week is going to be crazy as I got to try to figure out how to get to multiple cities. Probably next week could be making depending on how this March Madness stuff goes, I could be making a crazy trip. I turned down. They give gifts for March Madness as well. So like that stinks because like I don't know what I could have got. But I was supposed to be in Raleigh this weekend, so that would have been cool to be able to get the gift yesterday. But I do know, without a shadow of a doubt, I will be in Charleston, South Carolina, with lacrosse starting next week. So, but yeah. So, I got it. Actually, my dog. I've been texting my dog Steve. Let me see if he did get the credentials. Me and Steve been talking about the fuck up with Domo and how we're not in OT7. I am very upset about that still. Like I can't even put into words how disappointed I am, especially with OT7 spackling Bryson Wright left and right. So just imagine you had this kid and and they were willing, the family was willing to do whatever, and then all of a sudden you don't have them. So yeah. Damn. Yeah. Anyways, man. What we got? What we got, Jaden?
Can y'all hear me okay?
Yep.
All right. So good evening, everybody. March 21st here at Big Games BS. We covered the good, the bad, and all the BS in sports. You guys didn't know today with FSU's Pro Day. So our FSU section is going to incorporate a lot of those topics. Going to get some score recaps for baseball, softball, and some awards for women's basketball. Georgia is the next GTA 6 setting. That's where GTA is going to be based out of. The University of Georgia has had some crazy incidents that we're going to get into. Former Michigan coach indicted on some cybercrime charges. And we're going to see some new general manager hiring coming out of Cal with Ron Rivera. And then calling cap on Jalen Milroe's unofficial 40 time, and we're going to discuss the number of perfect brackets left in March Madness. This was from around last night. So next, we'll transition to the NFL Jaguars, getting into the Jaguars signing former Eagles offensive tackle Fred Johnson. Then we're going to get into some notable draft pictures and some graphs about NFL offenses as well. Then we're going to poke fun at the Cowboys. That's something we as a media, we definitely like to show the Cowboys some L's that they've been taking. And James, we got some list Twitter for you, building the perfect lineup with $15. And then I wanted to add this video about who are the true superstar QBs and your opinion on that, and some rule change proposals. And our boy Xavier Legette has a new Reese's partnership going to get into. And then for our Big Games BS segment, talk about the Celtics getting sold for $6.1 billion, making it the highest selling North American sports franchise in recent history. Bronny having an NBA career high, and then the Jackie Robinson Department of Defense debacle, if you will. So, first things first, let's share this with you all right here. So, first things first, these are the NFL teams spotted at FSU's Pro Day so far. So we got Dolphins, Jags, Bears, Lions, Jets, Packers, Browns, Bills, Chiefs, Seahawks, Steelers, Rams, Cardinals, Colts, Raiders, Bucks, Patriots, Texans, Bengals, Cowboys, and the Philadelphia Eagles. Next thing, we just got some notable alumni in the building we want to highlight. So here's JT, Jordan Travis, and Jermaine Johnson II hanging out with FSU grad assistant Dimitri Emmanuel. So Travis and Emmanuel were teammates in Tally from 2022 to 2023. Moving forward, we got another star-studded alumni making sure to pop out. Los Angeles Rams defensive tackle Braden Fisk made an appearance at the Pro Day today. And yes, he was one of the finalists for the 2024 NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year, but he ended up getting beat out by none other than his former FSU shared alumni, Jared Verse. So James, FSU Pro Day, one of the key players everybody wanted to see run the 40, do their drills was Azareye'h Thomas. So I got a video of him running his 40 time right here. There's been no official times yet, unless you can provide that information. But from what everybody was saying on Twitter and what everybody trying to hand time, it was around a 4.5. 4.5 to 4.55. So James, play this video for you of his 40 time, and let us know what you think in the chat, guys. If you want to hand time it yourself, try and hand time it, see what you get. But here is AZ's 40 right here.
That angle, there's no way to hand time that from there. Got too many obstructions. Like right there, like you kind of lose them. So you kind of lose the ability to kind of track the speed. If he ran a 4.5, he's fine. You would like to see more speed. You would like to see it in the 4.4 range, but he's still a long corner. Still a lot of good coming out of that. His 40 technique, he kind of pops. He doesn't pop up, but like he doesn't get a lot out of that first step. I wish he would have maybe covered a little bit more ground, but arms a little bit stiff, swinging side to side. Need him to go cheek to cheek. I mean, he didn't do anything to lose. He didn't do anything to jump himself into the like higher. Like, but he didn't do anything. Either you think he's in the first round right now, or you think he's a day 2 pick. I don't think he did anything to drop out of day 2. So, and to be honest with you, he probably wants to be in if I know this sounds crazy, but you probably, if I'm him, I want to be a day 2 or day 3 guy on one of the better teams. Like, because like if he like a Rams, Eagles need to get restructured. Not restructured. They need a lot of young talent, considering a lot of the different things that they've been going through and doing. So, kudos to him. I don't really see. I kind of really would. Actually, you want to know what's funny? I know exactly who some of these people are. I want you to push. Hold on. Pause right here. Look at Ernie Sims. Anybody want to, like, this is how you know when you know somebody for like your entire damn adult life, like, or even before that, because we competed against each other in high school. I know that I know Ernie. I know that's Ernie's stance right there. So I know that's Ernesto Sims. So like, kudos to him. I think that's Yak to the right, but I'm not sure. But I know for a fact that that's Ernie Sims, right there with that garnet jacket on. And the black pants. So I really wish I could have gone over there. Are we going to talk about spring practice? First day, we're going to do any spring practice updates, Jaden? Do we have any of that?
I had a video on just like an intro video about
Okay.
just some of the what the some of the coaches were saying, like walking into the spring
Okay.
practice right here.
So I'll
But
save my spring practice updates because I do have
okay,
I do have information. I was not there, so this is all information given to me per conversations of people who know ball and we're there to be able to see it. No coaches, no players. I mean, you can probably use deductive reasoning to figure out how I got to the conclusion or where I got the information from, because I'll have that probably for the rest of my life until my sons are done. I will have good recruiting info because I'll be intimately involved in the recruiting process through high school coaching, through my own sons, friends, blah, blah, blah. Kids that I help put into college, things of that nature. But I do know I really wish I could have gone to pro day, but I would have had to end my vacation with my fam a little earlier, and I wasn't. I've been traveling a lot, so I wasn't gonna do that. To for not for this pro day. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was not excited to see DJU throw a football. Like that wasn't really. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to cancel my vacation to go see, because I saw AZ. I really wish AZ would have performed in Indy, but I get it. And outside of that, what was it? I don't. Did Farmer run? Did Farmer run again or do anything?
any updates on Farmer from my Twitter searching. So I mostly saw, like you said, the AZ videos and a
Okay.
couple of the DJ videos. But
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
Mo Smith bench pressing 31. That's good. He's been working out. Good for
yeah.
him.
Hmm.
Still doesn't change the fact that this year he couldn't block. He wasn't doing very good at blocking people. Um, shout out to Tits for Fits. Still seems to be working from what I saw. But just I wasn't gonna cancel Christmas to go to the pro day this year. Next year, hopefully, I'll be doing a lot more when it comes to the pro day stuff.
Yep. So that was some of the pro day info for you guys, and like James was saying, we're definitely getting to some of these spring practices. On the later show, probably on Monday's show, get a little deeper dive into that, get some of the verifiable facts for you all right here. So yeah, the main postings for the FSU Pro Day has been AZ. Saw a couple of Lawrence Toafili stuff as well, some DJU throws as well. But AZ was definitely the main focus for our Pro Day. I would say the top prospect coming out of FSU with him, Farmer, and Fitzgerald, but not too much info on Farmer. So we're going to get into some baseball action. So, man, we went down to Miami and we made it our house. So we implemented the run rule because we beat the Hurricanes 14-1 in baseball. Man, we showed them who is top in the big three in baseball. So, James, man, what do you think about this beating right here? The run rule is crazy.
Yeah, I can't believe that. That's a solid ass whooping. Solid ass whooping. I didn't even know that there was a run rule in baseball. And like I thought mercy rule stopped once you get out of high school. But I guess everybody you got to build self-esteem. I really don't know why you need to boost their self-esteem, but I guess good for those kids. But like to me, I'm like, man, fuck that, bro. Like I want to keep whipping ass. But 14-1, that is what do the young folks say, belt to ass. So like that's a good belt to ass action right there.
Luke just popped up in the chat as well.
Damn, bro. Sorry,
Sorry
Luke.
about the BTA. Luke came in
They beat them
commented
at
the
Alex
wrong time.
Rodriguez Field.
Yep, they went to their house.
Damn.
BTA at their house.
Damn, that's tough, man.
Transitioning to softball, the Seminoles got a ranked W against number 24 Alabama 5-2 on March 19th. So on Wednesday. So huge shout out to the ladies for doing their thing as well. Speaking of the ladies, the women's basketball team is playing tomorrow, 7:45 p.m. Eastern against George Mason, 6th ranked Florida State. And we got some awards to discuss. So the AP All-American Awards, our homegirl, Tania Latson, TT, the #1 scorer in all of collegiate women's basketball, she did make the second team.
Disrespectful.
For sure. And our big man, Michaela Timpson, was an honorable mention. So shout out to these two ladies boosting their WNBA draft stock. Hopefully we can see them in the league one day in WNBA in Unrivaled. So huge shout out to the ladies, and make sure y'all tap into the game tomorrow, 7:45 p.m. So now that we touched on FSU, we have to talk about one of the bigger news stories out of the SEC with Georgia, aka the GTA 7 school. So there has been a lot of reckless driving that has been occurring in Georgia. So Georgia's Nitro Tuggle and Marquise Easley have been suspended indefinitely per school release. You can see right here, this is Marquise's picture. He ran into an apartment complex on Monday night, leading to his suspension. And yes, you can see what kind of car it is. It is a Dodge. It is a Mopar. Not surprised.
What did he dodge?
Not a soul.
Not a soul.
Not a soul, man.
And next, we're gonna get into
wait, man, like God, like
I'll go back.
Somebody, for the sake of they get like Bobby. They try to get Bobby for lack of institutional control because guys were oversleeping for tests. Like, what the fuck, man? Like how you run into an entire clearly there's a problem. Clearly, these guys I'm not understanding this. That's where I'm at right now. So that's what they wilding right now.
And like we previously mentioned, one of the other names, this is the other person, Nitro Tuggle. No, it's very ironic. His name was Nitro, and he got charged with reckless driving. So, so he got charged with reckless driving and speeding in Athens. So we got some funny pictures to share with you all right here. So since January 2023, Georgia has accumulated 24 wins, but they have had more arrests. I'll repeat that. They have had 25 arrests since January of 2023.
And normally arrest breeds like a better football team. But Georgia hasn't been playing that top tier brand of ball that they've been playing. So he's got to get it together. He needs, believe it or not, I think traffic violations aren't helping them. They got to have bodies. They're not getting no bodies right now. So, but yeah, so that right now it's crazy. But I don't know what's going on with Curb. Curb wilding over there, man. They sincerely wilding.
They calling them the new Fast and the Furious on Twitter. So you can see right here, 19 Georgia players have reportedly faced arrests relating to speeding, DUI, or reckless driving since 2023. Some notable names: first-time Super Bowl winner Jalen Carter and Blunt Smoker.
Definitely Blunt Smoker.
Blunt Smoker, and then you got Trevor Etienne on this list as well, and 17 other names that have been arrested for speeding, DUI, or reckless driving since 2023. So,
Kobe? I thought Kobe got arrested for beating on his girl.
Oh, I guess he's a multiple offender, James.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, he can't. He's a multitasker. Even though I don't think I think it was how they wrote it, but it was they said it was a misdemeanor for beating on it's the child. He was endangering the child. That's what it was. So they didn't get him for hitting his girl. They got him for hitting his girl who was with child or some shit like that. It was crazy. But yeah, that's yeah, I don't. Yeah, yo. Damn. That's a hard ass pic. That's a hard ass graphic, man. Is that on our page?
Somebody posted it, so I just posted the photo on our page.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Great. I love it. That's awesome, man. That's funny. That's hilarious, man. Damn,
for
Curve.
for family. Am I right?
Yeah.
But but we got to go to the Big Ten. Transition into the
Did we
Big.
talk about practice, or did we just
Oh,
skip?
okay.
I said we skipped the FSU portion of practice.
No, I thought you said you wanted to do it on Monday, but I got some
Nah,
clips.
nah,
So,
nah. Monday we'd be 3 practices in by then.
okay, so I got the spring practice intro video.
Let me see. Is our media getting better? Like, cause I know, boy, they was woof. Boy, I talk about them boys was saucy. Everybody was striking back. I mean, Ward Chant. I mean, they were doing all their podcasts. Bud Elliott, Bud Elliott got active in there. Like people calling for Mike's head, like all kinds of shit off of like they are not happy about not being able to view practice in the manner in which they want to view it. So which I think is hilarious, but damn Kais. Let's just go ahead and show me what we got on this, and then I'll talk about what I do know.
Okay, so first things first, this is a little just to start off positively. This is per FSU football, just a little intro video of them walking on the field. Got some guest appearances as well. Coach White on here, Coach Haggins on here. Just a little 15-second clip, just spread a little bit of positivity before we get into some of what James has to talk about.
Yeah, day one. 32 years of it. What's up? Straight from track, baby. We outside. All the work, all the talk. Now let's put it on the grass. That chalkboard stuff is over. Yeah, day one.
Oh, okay. His voice is throwing me off. But I like it though. It sounds very he sounds very much like a defensive coach. So, that chalkboard stuff is over. I like that. Yes. Give it to me. Let's see what we got here. I'm interested. So this is why we got clips of practice. See, this is kudos to who did this. Is this FSU media or is this one of obviously it can't be one of the publications. So it's got to be FSU media.
It's FSU.
See this little battling between nephew and who is he going up against? 16. Is that Quindarius? That's what I was trying to look for. All right. Large two well-built mammals. Okay, good catch. Good contested rep there. Good ball placement. I don't really like when my big wide receivers are doing that cha-cha slide shit, man. Just fucking run, bro. We ain't got the dog. You 6'6", damn near 6'7", bro. Yeah, like you ain't got time. That ain't fooling nobody. That's a lot of wasted movement. But he can obviously get separated because there was very little separation on that clip. It's not holding until they call it. But I think what you see is they're both hand fighting, and he didn't like jack him down. So that's one thing that would be good. But like that's good. They saw to see young Deuce out there competing. Man, he's real light skinned. But Jones should be somebody that we want a lot from. So good stuff. I like that rep. That was a good quality rep. We haven't seen good quality reps like that come out of our media in quite some time. Normally it's some bullshit, but you can't really. That's good right there. That's nothing startling or anything to like cry about when you see that. What other clips we got? All right, we got our Pilgrims here and Blake. Okay, Blakey. Getting active on the bags. But I can't. I was doing all that. I can't see the video. Yeah. Oh damn. Okay, he hit the shit out of that bag.
Oh yeah, I'll replay the video again.
Oh, I mean, maybe if we can hit people that hard, like when we really put pads on, it would change a lot of things. I'm still wondering what our linebacker room, what we doing with. I ain't like that 51. Who's 51? That's a little timid. Like, give me crash out like Blake. But it is just drills. We're talking about pads. Like, this is still a better. This drill looks football competent. So I'm liking the direction that we're going. Restricting media, only putting out football. We haven't seen any of them stupid ass drills drills that could make people look stupid. Have we? We don't have none of them.
No, all the stuff. So most of the videos surrounding the spring practices have been like the walk-ins and Mike Norvell running. Not too many videos of them actually practicing. So those are the bulk of the videos I found. So yeah, nothing controversial yet, James.
Do you have I know Dion talked about and Fran are talking about spring doing a dueling spring ball one day. I heard Mike Norvell was asked that question too as well. Did you see anything with that?
No, but if you want to talk about it a little bit, I can try and find it for sure. But I did not see that.
Well, what Dion brought up was, trying to bring an NFL mindset to spring ball and just basically what they do in training camp. Training camp for the last, I don't know for how long, but it's been one of those things where you have a partner practices. Like you'll play a team that you'll be playing that team in the preseason game. So the home team will host the other team for a few days, and you'll do your practices together. You do your individuals separately, but you'll do your team drills and your 1-on-1, 7-on-7. You'll do those against each other, getting a little bit better look against competition that isn't the same as yours. So a lot of people, a lot of times, a lot of questions have been, why don't people partner and have spring games against other teams, much like what you see with high school? They have jamborees or they have classics or they have stuff like that. So Dion brought that up and he put it on social media. And one of the first people to jump to social media and say, hey, we'll come out to Colorado was Fran Brown with the Syracuse Orangemen. And he says, we'll come out there, we'll chop it up with you for a few days and make something of it. I think it's an actual from a pure football perspective, I think it's actually a really good thing. Now, I can see where there's a lot of complications with that because, if you ain't tampering, you ain't trying. But I think the whole idea of not having spring games to try to maybe push off tampering is a bit dumb. So I don't you have the audio or the clips there, Jaden?
No, this is the This was the only post each from Fran Brown specifically talking about it, or Mike Norvell?
No, I was saying for them. You didn't see the Mike Norvell was on some podcast, because he do every podcast, but big games. I get it though.
I didn't get a chance to see any clips regarding that. Just like few pictures and something like that. But no, I haven't seen the podcast clips. I actually just found it. Now that we say that, it's on 3. Like you say, he was on a podcast. JD Pickle, I guess it's.
He one of them talking heads.
So he's on 3 representatives. So is this what you're referring to, James? Can you see?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna let it play for you all, and I got another practice clip video for you all, courtesy of War Chant, but as the only real practice footage we can get. So after I play this Mike Norvell video, I'm going to switch back to some of the practice clips. So enjoy this Mike Norvell video.
Deion Sanders, I think it was yesterday, actually, as we're taping this on a Tuesday. Yesterday, he said, hey, we'd be down to have somebody come out to Boulder and have a joint practice with us. Not necessarily would y'all go out to Boulder and do that whole deal, but is that something you could see Florida State doing in the future, hosting someone for a couple of days and then playing your spring game against them? Is that a sustainable model in your mind?
I think it's definitely something that's unique, in thought process. I mean, I think you see NFL, teams that they do the joint practices there in fall camp. I think there's definitely, an avenue and a path where that could be, beneficial. that's something that I wouldn't be opposed to, in a big picture part of it, but it's also, a lot of the logistical elements and, different dynamics that run into this new age of college football that I think you'd have to be able to work through and make sure you found the right fit and obviously the right, place to be able to go, have you have a different opponent that you'd work with through spring. But, I think there's some merit to it. And we've seen that in the NFL of how teams have been able to kind of incorporate that with through their fall camps. Yeah, it's definitely something I think people will continue to talk about as we move forward.
Dion,
Man, you gotta love the way they be writing this shit up, bro. It made it seem like I thought Mike was out here challenging my old boy to something. So whatever. Good stuff. I do think it's something that does need to happen. I think it will be something that brings a little bit more of excitement. I'll make it more like it doesn't have to be a full game. It could be a fully controlled scrimmage, which is what, like, I always joke with people about jamborees don't mean anything. Like, we're trying to get looks, trying to see some different things. The problem is the more you get on film, the more teams can combat you. But right now, Florida State, like, we need to win bigger than anything else. But right now we got to work on beating FSU. So okay, so we got some drills here. I think this was last year. You heard me?
Oh,
No.
so no, this was
No,
this was this year.
No, you're right.
Because that's Kyler Murray Jr. right there.
That's what we're praying for. So I just want to put this out there because apparently there's no media access to practice, respectfully. So that means FSU media probably took these clips and probably sent this to everybody, which is why they say video credit FSU Athletics. But this is dope. The cool thing about this is shows that the big news sources actually know how to do video credits. Normally they just snatch people's shit and don't say nothing about it. But they know that my dude Derek Satterfield is gonna be all up in that ass. Pause. If they don't give them the proper credits to make it seem like they're out there doing it. Okay, Cam, ankle looking pretty good. Look a little svelte. That's Jalen right there. Okay, got to stay healthy, baby. All right, Kyler Murray Jr. I don't know which one that was. Oh, these are just skill players in general. These aren't just running backs. I got you. So that was Deuce. All right, good for them. Get some work. They are showing this. These are things like, if our media, I'm just putting this out there. Y'all can dislike me all you want, but if y'all were showing shit like this, you would have never lost your access. Like, those drills all look okay. Like, there's not a drill that anybody can go and cut that up and say, man, what the hell are they doing over there? Like, some of the stuff, they were just putting drills out there with absolutely no context that just looked like that were just bad reps. You don't want the bad reps. Like, it was almost like the joke would be, does FSU media hate FSU? And like, now they had to go in there. I fully support this Mike Norvell decision, but overall, that first day of practice went about how you want a first day of practice to go. Quarterbacks and wide receivers need to get in a little bit more sync. There were some big plays as the defense is learning how to adjust to this new style of defense. You got to think Adam Fuller ran a man. We ran a 4-down man type coverage. Maybe there was a little bit of there's argument and speculation that there was some kind of zones, but for the most part, everybody stated that, man, we run fucking press man. It's zero coverage out this bitch. Every man for himself, and it worked. And you had guys in body types, but now they're shifting to more of what we would consider potentially more of a odd coverage. You got guys that are long that can play in space. The speed will help them with those things, but there are going to be natural gaps as they do this. Now, one of the things that won't happen, and I think where a lot of media, a lot of people are trying to say is going to be one thing, from what I understand, we will be multiple on defense. And I'm not talking to like my man said, we're multiple in the front and multiple in the back. The word, what did he say? The word creeper gets thrown around a lot. Not that kind of shit, but like you can literally be an odd man front with a 4-down look. All it is basically you have a stand-up defensive end. And if you have, like, this would have been where, I know people don't want to hear this name because he didn't do very well for us, but this is where like a Marvin Jones Jr. Would be perfect, right? He's an athletic defensive end, or even your Patrick Payton. Don't put them in situations where they have to go and defend the run. Put them in situations where they can use their athleticism to be able to go. But you can't be you can't be a pussy, for lack of a better term. You got to be somebody who's tough, and you got to be able to go out there and want to hit motherfuckers in the mouth and be harmful to other individuals. And that's kind of the marks of this defense of what they're going to try to do: be fast, be aggressive. If you're going to make a mistake very fast. The notable guys that stood out, obviously we saw Deuce Robinson. I can't think of the 6'7" motherfucker that was out there, but one of the things that if you are a guy who is a fan or wants to see true improvement to our offensive line, or you want to see size, you want to see that kind of like that a change there, that ain't happening. That did not happen. Apparently, we still look small per the source's eyes, who's played at a high level, played there, and knows what a large size offensive line looks like. So clearly we still want some things there from an offensive line perspective, where we're getting guys that can move people out of the projects, escort them out the club. Now, where we do look good from what was said to me is the defensive line. The defensive line does look noticeably stronger, noticeably more fit, more explosive. Also in the defensive backs, still complaints in the linebacker room from his perspective, where we could probably just, we got to just grow up there and hope somebody continues to develop. But we got to get a little bit better in the recruiting front from the prep perspective, as well as the transfer portal perspective. Wide receivers are tall. Running backs look like running backs. Like, we will see offense did make some big plays coming in out of all of that. He wasn't able, you got to continue to have the synergy and some of the things to get with that. There were some injuries, but that's not for me to discuss. I don't like talking about those things. That's coach's job to discuss whatever happened with those things. Miles, can you scroll down on the comments? I can't see, or just push new comments. I gotcha. But yeah, so outside of that, I'm all for the direction or whatever we're going in, and hopefully like we'll continue to see it better. I don't know when I'm gonna get over there. You only got so many weeks. Next week will probably be tight, but once I get the schedule, I got to bring a couple kids over there who I know we're recruiting. And I do want to chop it up and just show my face. I want to see him get active. So maybe next weekend, who knows? I got to take Trey out to a practice game. And we're going to get Trey's opinion. Trey will give you his unadulterated opinion on what he sees from Florida State as well. So that's just a little bit of a secondhand information from somebody who is up close and personal with the way that they view and the way they look at stuff. There's a lot of good prospects that were out at practice. Recruiting is still interesting from what I've heard. We can still kind of ramp it up, and we're still not understanding the assignment when it comes to certain things, the way other schools move when it comes to recruiting. So hopefully that'll continue to get better, and we'll continue to bring in the best prospects. As you guys know, I am a Mike Norvell. I'm a Mike Norvell fan. So
Going to discuss some Big Ten news. So ex-Michigan coach, Matt Weiss indicated on cybercrime charges. So former University of Michigan football coach was indicted on 24 federal charges, including unauthorized computer access and aggravated identity theft. Weiss is accused of hacking into the personal medical accounts of over 150,000 student athletes nationwide, primarily targeting female athletes to access intimate digital photos and videos. The alleged activities span from 2015 to 2023, which he also worked for the Baltimore Ravens. So, James, what do you think about this creep?
I think, I hope he gets prosecuted to the utmost, but it also just shows me Michigan just don't give no fucks, man. Michigan got everything that they needed to get out of it, and I really wish Florida State followed this model. Michigan got popped right before they won the national championship and said, fuck y'all. We not doing shit. Then they got popped again, and then he served this little suspension. Then they had the guy going to stealing signs that they found out about. Then they got this creeper ass coach that they fired right before the national championship season. It's just like, what is the NCAA? The NCAA just does not care. Like they are a shell of a company. Like they offer you no protection. It's kind of like I wrote an article about 10 years ago where I talked about HBCUs. What is the purpose of you being in the NCAA? What purpose does being in the NCAA serve you? And I'm really to that point right now when it comes to everybody right now, really outside of, they're not doing anything to shut down the Power 2. You got to be in the Power 2, and they're not going to attack those guys. The NCAA serves no purpose, and it's really about time to dismantle that shit. It's really about time. It is not about keeping amateurism in sports. It's not about making sure this is policed fairly, because you can't police fairly if you don't enforce. And I think that's just really what it all comes down to. So fuck the NCAA.
Moving on to a newly placed ACC school. They have had some word about a new general manager hiring that has been familiar in the football capacity. So former Carolina Panthers head coach Ron Rivera is now the new GM of the California football program. James is starting to see a lot more former players, former coaches get involved into this general manager role, whether that be in football and in basketball. So have you heard the news from Ron Rivera and Cal about this hiring?
I mean, I think people are rushing to overreact on, like, because again, Ron Rivera's problem at both of his last two stints was the fact that he didn't want to pay players. So, like, I got some friends who are panicking, like, why don't we do this? Like, you want Ron Rivera? I don't want Ron Rivera. I think Ron Rivera's a good guy. I don't necessarily want him being that. Like, I want a shrewd GM, a GM that knows how to play the game. I like what North Carolina did. North Carolina really did what they were supposed to do. Ron Rivera, we don't need these old curmudgeons that come out and say, like, I want my guys to do like what back in the day. Because that shit ain't helping either. It's a new day and age. What you need is a guy who understands contracts and understands how to get the most bang for the buck. That can really explain to these players that when they come in, here's what your true valuation is, and this is how you're going to get your money. And there's the constructs of our salary cap. And I think how you start it is you don't have to necessarily be an NFL guy. You can be a common sense guy, and you can get feedback from people who are in the NFL. How much do you value the quarterback room? Is the quarterback room worth $1 million to you? Is the starting quarterback at Florida State, I just used that, is the starting quarterback at Florida State worth $1 million? If that's what it is, then that's where you start at. And you have opportunities to renegotiate, restructure in however legalese terms that you need to be able to state that makes you be able to abide by the rules that the NCAA has that they do not enforce. But what I always ask people is when they come onto these things and they say, man, we need to be doing this. Who do we need to be doing this with? Who do you want to see from the NFL that could come here? Or is it just you want to see anybody? And that does not help. There's a lot of foolish GMs. I've seen them. I cover them. I'll tell you who I don't want. I don't want garbage Ben Balky anywhere near my program. Well, it's technically Trent Balky, but we just call him Ben because I know a Ben Balky, and that's a weird last name. But I don't want Balky anywhere near a football team. So we got to ask ourselves, what is it that we actually want? But kudos to Cal. I can promise you, Cal is still going to be mid. It's still going to be mid because Cal is a true academic institution. And academic institutions got a lot of other shit going on their plate with the current admin that we ain't got to worry about them from a football perspective. So like, shit, I believe, again, and a GM's job is to evaluate talent more than it is to get the like what connections does Ron Rivera have when it comes to recruiting? When he's been in the NFL for so long. So those are questions that I would have. But I like there's only one program that's truly doing it the way that I think is at a high level, and that would be North Carolina. What up, Mac Deasy? I think UNC is doing it a proper way. And I would do that.
Congratulations to Ron. So we got to discuss Jalen Milroe and his 40 time. There's been a lot of speculation on his time that he ran. And we got 2 videos courtesy of our homegirl, Jaisha, working for the Tide 100.9 radio station in Bama. She got some footage of Jalen running the 40-yard dash, and I just got to say, big cap. So one of the videos, that Jalen ran, the second 40 run, if I'm not mistaken, was clocked as a 4.37 unofficial time, but for some reason it just does not look like that. So James, we're gonna peep both of the runs right here. So she has right here in her captions that the first run somewhere between a 4.4 and a 4.5, and the second run was that unofficial 4.37.
Wait a minute. Hold on, blow it up. Put it on the big screen. Let's put it on the Summer Jam screen. All right. One, two, three, four. Fuck no. Fuck no. 1,000. 2 1,000. 3 1,000. 4 1,000. No. I'll give him 4.5. I'll give him a 4.5, probably closer to a 4.6. And I'm gonna tell you why. Not just the let me hold on. Push pause real quick, Jason. Whip out the because now again, before y'all jump on me, that's what I used to do for a while. Jaden, you see me eyeball work, right?
You specify eyeball work. You mean football players? Yes, I've seen you.
I'm not.
Yes.
Jay, I'm not.
Yes.
It's a term from drug dealing saying I can measure out. I know what it is by looking at how much is there. But you saw me look with my eyes at a 40 and put the laser time on there. So I just want people to know that this is not bullshit. But I'm gonna try to do this more accurately with my phone, which is still not very accurate. Did you speed that thing up? Hold on. I did it way too early. One more time. Boom. No way. No fucking way. 4.5, 4.6 at best. 4.5, 4.6 at best. Still moving fast.
So
But
we got his second attempt right here. This was the 4.37 unofficial time. So James, let me know when you're ready to time it.
Go ahead. That was a little faster though. Actually, no bullshit aside. No bullshit aside. That might be that's closer. But I still give him a 4. I give him 4.4, 4.5. That's not a 4.3, 4.37. Just stumbled out of the start. No knee drive, legs behind him. A lot of bad, not looking like what you need a 4.3 to look like. 4.3 is so. I mean, I don't think people understand how fucking fast the 4.3 is. I don't think people understand how fast the 4.6 is, let alone a 4.3 is. We've seen it by so many people, but don't realize that with the percentage of the human population that still is able to do this. I put it in perspective. Who I just spent spring break with. Like everybody, people know I don't say names, but I do have my favorite. I have my goddaughters. I love my goddaughters. Their father is one of the fastest human beings to have ever been on this planet. And he ran track at Kentucky. I think his fastest time was he ran a 9.8 or a 9.9. So it's not a lot of people that have ran sub 10. Like one day in 20 years, they're gonna say, "Oh, he only runs 10." And not realize that how fast that is. Like your body, you have an outer body experience when you run that fast. Like, to put it again, perspective, it is supposed to be impossible, physically impossible for a human being to run over 25 miles per hour. Running into that 4.3 range puts you into that 22, 23 mile per hour range. If I'm remembering correctly, hold on. Let me go see how many mph is a 4.37 40. Like, I wanted to watch, like Usain Bolt was the closest that they ever said. So again, 4.37 seconds is almost 23 miles per hour. There's not a lot of people and for people like us, I use the catapult system for high school. If you're running consistently over 20 miles per hour, you're a fast human. Like, you're a really fast human. Cheetahs ran 24 miles per hour once. Like, it is crazy. Like, it doesn't happen. So like when you hear them old heads say, "Man, you know, in my day I ran a 4.2 something," like they lying. They lying. It's an easy tell that they're lying. It's just tough, and it puts a lot of stress and strain on your body. To like your ligaments, that's a lot of. It's called force production into the ground. It's a lot that goes into that. And if you run weird, it really leads to like getting pulls and hamstrings and things of that nature. So, hey, I'm all for if he ran it, he ran it. But I'm just gonna say, you say cap, I call BS. But I do know this: if he ran that, it just further more proof that my man needs to go ahead and learn how to run inside zone from the running back's perspective.
Yeah, from what I saw online, Mike Tomlin was present, and a lot of people were noting the fact that he was present at the pro day, making sure he got an eye on Milroe. So could be a potential landing spot for Milroe, but we will see how that will go.
Did they have pictures of him throwing the ball? Like, there's that girl, because the problem isn't his speed. The problem is he's not a very good thrower of the football. And I remember what I saw at the Reese Senior Bowl, and it wasn't pretty.
Let me look at her page right now, just see if she got any videos. Melra. But I did see that. Yep, I got some throws right here for you. So let me share this.
I wonder if that's where they wanted him to hit. The caption is wild. We gotta get her on the show. This is some good work. She right there too. I like that. More completing passes. I love when they complete passes on there. He's not doing a lot of showing stress in the pocket. I mean, it's better than he did at the Senior Bowl.
That was a bulk of the video she posted. Shout out Jaisha. Yeah, like you said, was right there in the mix. So got a chance to get some of those videos as well. So huge shout out to her. Good luck to Jalen Milroe as he progresses through the draft, everything like that. So to conclude this college segment for today, we got some March Madness updates. So this was around, let's just say 1 a.m. earlier this morning, and we got some news about the brackets, y'all. So there was only 0.0938% perfect brackets left in March Madness. I know mine is already broken, so I'm one of the people who do not have a perfect bracket. So this was around 1 a.m. this morning, so I'm sure that number has definitely dwindled down some more, but it just shows you how difficult it is to get that perfect bracket right. And yeah, man, just look at this number. It's crazy to think about. It's only the second, third day, I believe, of the tournament. So,
well, I think it was really looking dangerous, man. Did you watch any of this?
I did not get a chance to, but no, I didn't get a chance to watch any.
So I was watching Alabama State Auburn, and I got into it like right. So technically, if you want to blame me, if you're an Alabama State fan, I'm probably the reason why you guys lost, because it was 32-31, Auburn. And when I came in, and they got a opportunity to drive before the end of the first half to drive to the basket, but he got fouled. He makes these two free throws. They're up 33-32. He misses both. Like, it was just Auburn played like trash, and Alabama, excuse me, I said A&M. Alabama State was popping in the beginning, and it was fun to watch. And that would have destroyed everybody's bracket. Nobody picked Alabama State. I can promise you that. But then you just watch some of the games. I believe the Arkansas North Carolina game was pretty good and intense. You saw UNC fold. You saw what Cal might have a monster over there in Arkansas with that bread behind him and being able to cheat. He may do some damage out there. I'm trying to think what other games that I watched that were just pretty that were interesting. But I mean, my bracket, I think I'm like in the 72% tile right now, or some shit like that is what they told me. So but yeah.
Yes, I saw McNeese win as well. They've been going viral.
That's who beat the shit out of Clemson, right?
Yeah, they did play Clemson. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so man, that was crazy. Let me see. Let me look at my bracket. See where I'm at right now. I only got 180 points. I don't know if that's good or not. Let me see where I stand in the Oh, I'm first place right now, though. Well, I'm tied for first place with Duval Gator. We got, was it 10 people? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Only 11 people participated in the bracket. I mean, you probably can still do it. Duval, Noel, and Adrian don't have any points. By the way, they have brackets, but didn't do anything with it. But wait a minute. Did I pick Lewis? I picked Creighton. I told you, like Londa, I told you to pick Creighton. You ain't listen to me. Didn't I pick Creighton? I picked it on this one. Did I pick Creighton on the show? Or you don't even remember, do you, Jaden?
No, I do not remember. Yeah, I do. I'm not sure.
So I did not get UNC screwed me. Okay, New Mexico and Marquette are playing right now, so I need them to be do their thing. Jesus, Florida is beating the DEI out of Norfolk State. Like they are like, this is Ron DeSantis is smiling at this game right now. Colorado State beat the Penny Hardaways. It's a lot of upsets, man, already out the gate. It's crazy. It's definitely madness.
Definitely madness. So that'll conclude our college segment for today. Next, we're going to transition into the NFL. First things first, I'd like to start off with the home team. That is the Jacksonville Jaguars. So they have made.
We didn't do the prayer. We didn't get the prayer, but let's just keep going. We'll find a way to get it in there eventually.
So we're starting out with the Jaguars. They have made a new recent signing with former Eagles offensive tackle Fred Johnson to a 1-year deal. He was smacking stuff last season for sure. So I'm happy we got this pickup right here. So James, what would you grade or rate this pickup right here for the Jags and this 1-year deal?
See, they don't believe, if they give him a 1-year deal, so they don't really believe that he's a guy that's going to help us. But he's not a guy that's going to be long-term, but he's somebody that can actually bolster your offensive line. Can't be mad at it. One of the weaker spots of the Jacksonville Jaguars is there. I still believe that they're going to go in the draft and try to figure out what they're getting. But Walker Little, you can't just say, hey, you know what? I'm good with Walker Little. You have to have somebody else that's there. Like Lil Walker ain't doing shit for us, for us to win the division.
Agreed. Definitely need some help in that tackle position as well. So we got a infographic right here I wanted to share with you all. And this is every time that a team only drafted one side of the ball in the draft since the year 2000. Some notable teams on here as well. Just thought it was interesting to share. First, you got the 2023 Titans draft room. You got an offensive tackle, QB, running back, tight end, offensive tackle, and wide receiver, offense only. Then going from the defense only, you got the 2020 draft for the Panthers. Got a defensive tackle, edge rusher, safety, cornerback, safety, defensive tackle, and cornerback as well. Then you see here you got the 2014 draft for the Bucks, obviously picking up Mike Evans right there. I know they're not mad about that. And 2009 offense only, you got the Jets. And in 2003, you have an offense only with the Commanders, formerly known as the Washington Redskins. So just wanted to include this graphic for you all, for the fans, and for you, James. Have you seen this graphic circulating around the internet at all? Or
nah, but it only worked one time. And even then, I'd argue they just had to go get one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play football for it to work. It'd be the 2014 Bucks. It seems like a lot of these other ones were reaches. None of that's really any good. That's wild.
For sure. I agree with you. Definitely a poo list. So we got another list for you right here. So these are the last 10 non-quarterback number 1 picks. Obviously, the Jaguars hold the crown to that with the most recent but that being defensive end Trayvon Walker in the 2022 NFL Draft. And number 2, obviously the the face of the Browns' franchise and the number 1 helmet banger himself, Myles Garrett in 2017. Then you got Jadonovan Clowney, 2014 with the Texans as well. Eric Fisher, Jake Long, Mario Williams, Courtney Brown, Orlando Pace, Keyshawn Johnson going back to 1996.
Just give me the damn ball.
And Kajana Carter in 95. So just thought this was a great list to kind of conceptualize how popular picking the quarterback number 1 is. And these are some of the recent.
Well, here's the crazy part, though. Like, Trayvon's not a miss, right? Trayvon, I just still to this day don't believe you should have drafted him number 1, but he's not bad. But if you remove Trayvon, which is maybe the most questionable of them all, ain't nobody missed when they picked the guy who was a non-quarterback number 1. Like I don't know. Like, yeah, one of these guys said not the most flattering list. Like, the fuck? Myles Garrett, Hall of Famer. Fisher was consistent. Jake Long was consistent. Mario Williams was really, really good. Courtney Brown. Orlando Pace, one of the best offensive linemen that ever played a game. Keyshawn Johnson was a man. Kajana Carter wasn't as good in the pros as he was in college. In college, but I mean, it was 95. Like, Myles, you were like you probably were just starting to realize what football was at that point. So, like, you should know who that is. But like, there's a lot more quarterbacks that if you put up all the number 1s, there's a lot more quarterbacks that stink than that. Because a lot more has to go into it if you don't get, like, this guy has to be pretty fucking good for me to be able to go out and get him as a non-quarterback. But, like, I mean, hell, shoot, get Clowney still in the league. The top three are still in the league. Pace played 10 years. Courtney Brown played a while. Mario Williams played over 10 plus years. Like, those aren't bust. Like, when you have a decade-long career. Keyshawn Johnson's got a Super Bowl. Well, technically, he didn't get a Super Bowl. He was asked to go home, but Keyshawn Johnson was that man at wide receiver for quite some time. He just never had a good quarterback.
Yeah, just wanted to share this list with the fans just so we can see some of the more dominant players that have been drafted number 1. Obviously, they were number 1 for a reason. So wanted to share that with you all. Hope you enjoyed that graphic as well. Next thing we will discuss here is the most expensive offenses coming in to this new NFL season, and many are surprised by the poor lack of money management from these organizations, especially coming in at number 1. You got the Dirty Birds of the NFC South, the Atlanta Falcons, with the most expensive offense with $182.9 million of that $279 million cap space maximum in the league. Then got the Chiefs at number 2. Bengals coming at number 3 with all of their extensions with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. Got the Rams at number 4. Commanders 5. Bucks, Lions, Bills, Cowboys coming in at number 9 with Dak contributing a mass amount to that deal. And coming in at number 10, you got Sheena Quick's Panthers. So, James, any surprising ranks on this list that you want to talk about?
Yeah. In that you've got 1, 2. Well, the Rams are very young on defense, so I guess that makes more sense. I mean, the Cowboys, Panthers, Falcons, and Bengals. Well, the Bengals are there now. A lot of those teams those are really, outside of the Falcons, like, they probably shouldn't be number 1, but those are franchises that I wouldn't argue have misappropriated funds. Chiefs are going to be consistently in your final 4. Rams bought out this year. Commanders are a great up-and-coming young team. Buccaneers are doing pretty well. Lions really set everybody on fire this year. The Bills, Cowboys, and Panthers are the only ones you're like, hey, man, what the fuck y'all doing? But nah, this is like scroll down. The Jaguars don't put anything in offense. Jeez, where's the money at? Hell, Trevor's damn near half of that. Oh, that means you can. That means maybe this when we look at the free agency, everybody will smile a little bit more.
I definitely hope so for the Jags. Definitely hope Gladstone and the new management will get it right this go around. So we have to take a little stab at the Cowboys with this graphic right here. So this is the last time a team has reached the NFC Championship, and the number is astronomical, might I add. So this is a graph right here for you guys. So this is the last time a team has reached NFC Championship game. Obviously, the Eagles and Commanders made the NFC Championship game this past season, so that is why it says 0 season right here. Detroit and San Fran last season as well. So only one season they had a NFC Championship drought. But if you look all the way down to the bottom, you'll see that the Cowboys haven't been to the NFC Championship in over 29 seasons. So we have some other notable names in the mix as well. Got the Bucks with a 4-season NFC Championship drought appearance. Then you got the Chicago down there, 14 seasons. So James, that 29 season, do you think it's going to be 30 next year? Are you if you were a betting man, would you bet it that they are not going to make the championship, NFC Championship next season?
Cowboys ain't making it.
So they finna get that Curry, huh? That Curry number right there, that 30 seasons,
That
right?
30, yep.
Yeah, it's definitely hard for a Cowboys fan, especially when you see these graphics right here. But we're going to stay in Texas with the new contract extension for Danielle Hunter coming out of the AFC South. So he got paid. He got a 1-year, $35.6 million deal, making him the second highest defensive player in the NFL, only behind Myles Garrett. Excuse me. He is ahead now of Max Crosby, Nick Bosa, Chris Jones, Derek Stingley, who recently got paid, Josh Allen, Brian Burns, TJ Watt, and Christian Wilkins. So, James, do you think this was smart for the Texans to pay all this money to Danielle Hunter for that 1-year deal?
I mean, I guess if you feel like you have it, I probably should have asked Big Sarge when I was on the show yesterday about that. But you gotta be able to get pressure on the quarterback. And that's the most important thing. He's in that situation where you can probably try it out because he's 30. So he may still have 3 to 4 years under it, but you gotta see right now with this season. So if he's able to come in and get you double-digit sacks, obviously is money more than well spent. But that's wild, though. That's a wild price tag. The Texans are clearly gearing up to be able to try to make a run in the AFC.
Because the AFC South is definitely for theirs to take unless the Jaguars definitely turn it around this season, in which I hope they will. But in the AFC South, it's not looking like the Texans are going to face a lot of competition. So they are going to try and take that crown. So, James, we got List Twitter for you right here. We got another perfect lineup for you. So you have $15, pick 5 players to take you all the way. Here is the list right here. So we got some all-time greats on this one. So pick 5 players, $15 total. So I'm excited to hear your list. And please, in the chat, type y'all list out too. Chat, please let us know who you're going to pick. Remember, $15, 5 players. So, James, who are you picking?
All right, let's see here. I'm going to splurge a little bit here at quarterback. And I'm going to go John Elway. Because I just don't value the quarterback position the way everybody else does. Give me Barry Sanders. It gives me 7. Oh, cool. All right, I'm at 7 right now. Terrell Owens gets me 11. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, okay. We're gonna go room 87, the 87 lounge. That
So you
gives
got
me
$12.
it gives me the 12, and then I can go Shannon Sharp. Okay. Whew. All right. I was getting nervous right there for a minute. I was having the same wide receiver, and I didn't want that. Like, but nah, yeah, give me Agent 87. I mean, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. I can win a lot of games with that.
So you picked Elway, Sanders, T.O., Shannon Sharp, and Reggie Wayne.
And Reggie Wayne, yeah.
Yeah, when I first looked at the list, I picked Breeze, Adrian Peterson, Unk. Then I had T.O., and then I had Jerry Rice. I mean, excuse me, Randy Moss. I had Randy Moss.
I was thinking of going to that route too. Because you got to have Randy Moss just was so good at the 50-50 ball and running the 9 route. Like, just it was just crazy. Like, you needed 2 safety high. You had to have 2 safety high with him. And if you had another pass catching tight end in either Tony Gonzalez or Shannon Sharp, you got to keep another one there. Like, so you can't just go 1 safety with those guys there. Chris Carter, Terrell Owen, like those guys. You said you went. You said who were your receivers?
My team's nasty. Yeah, so I picked Breeze, Adrian Peterson, Shannon Sharp, Terrell Owens, and Jerry Rice. Yeah. I mean, excuse me, and Randy Moss.
Randy Moss. T.O. is your guy. T.O. is a faster, more explosive version of Chris Carter. So like he's going to be able to move the chains for you. So like that'd be dirty. That'd be so nasty. Like to have that. Like, because T.O. is fast as hell for a big guy. Yeah, that's a hell of a list, man. I actually like your list better than mine. I ain't even gonna hate on you.
Yeah, I obviously saved money picking Breeze at with that dollar pick. That was a steal.
But I mean, Drew Brees and Tom Brady are similar, except for Brady had better quarterback. I mean, excuse me, Brady had a better head coach around him for most of his career in a system. Like, their ability to recognize the play and get rid of the ball fast was their strength. Like, Breeze wasn't like wowing you with no strong arm competition, but he was very, very smart and intelligent at quarterback.
Definitely. So yeah, definitely think my list is definitely, man, got some of the best, one of the better list Twitters right here with this $15 lineup. You know, every time we see this, I always trying to make sure we get a chance to share it with the fans, let them know, let you pick your picks as well. And we got some news out of Pittsburgh, James. The NFL's number 1 diva, Aaron Rodgers, visited the Steelers facility today, and no deal has been done, however, but Rodgers spent time with the coaches. I heard he spent a couple of hours here as well in the facility, so he got a next possible option to play for Mike Tomlin in the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I think the Steelers really want to get Mike Tomlin fired, if I'm being honest, if they're getting Aaron Rodgers there. So what do you think about Aaron Rodgers possibly making that move to go to the Steelers?
It's definitely giving me Trump's cabinet. Like, you're hiring McMahon as the Department of Education chair, and then getting rid of everything and like trying to get rid of all the programs. Like, that's basically what this is. Like, the goal is to get Mike Tomlin fired. That's why you brought in the wide receivers. You are bringing in anarchy and divisiveness into the locker room with the purpose of getting. And I think Tomlin's just okay with it at this point. Because there's no way that I'm just like, hey, man, I ain't that good of a trooper. Hey, man, what we trying to do? You trying to get me fired, or you trying to get you fired? And Aaron Rodgers is just as a space cadet at this point. Like, get him the fuck away from me. And anything football related, I don't even want him being commentating on the game. Like, go disappear to your mushroom farm and live your best life, bro. Like, that's about all you could do. Like, it's just, And I say all the other stuff I said in jokingly manner because we don't really know how it's going to work out. We can imply, we can deduce, but like right now, this doesn't look. I can just promise you, none of this shit looks like a very good look when it comes down to what you want with your Steelers organization. Aaron gonna say something cross, and the Crash Bros are gonna crash out on his ass. Yeah, like I can just already see George Pickens just wanting to whoop his ass.
Sorry, I was trying to look up I'm trying to remember who's the Steelers running back room now. So I was just
They
looking
got
it
rid
up.
of one. Najee's gone.
Right. So you got Jalen Warren, Kenneth Gainwell, Cordero Patterson, and
Oh,
Jonathan
Kenneth
Ward.
Gainwell's pretty decent.
So I was just trying to recollect my
Memphis running
memories.
back, one of Mike Norvell's boys.
Since obviously Najee is back home on the west side with the Los Angeles Chargers. So, yeah, good luck to Mike Tomlin, man, if this happens, because you'll definitely be in the ringer. So, next thing, we have a clip from Bomani Jones and Dominique Foxworth, which I thought was very
He's
interesting.
about to be real smart.
Not really. They talked about who are the true superstar QBs in the NFL. It was more conversationally based, not really statistics and evidence driven. So I just wanted to hear your opinion if you agreed with their sentiments. So yeah, we're gonna share this video with you all. Let us know what you think in the chat. And James, I can't wait to hear your opinion on this.
Okay, first off, man, never mind. Shout out to Dominique, man. I know your kid made that, man. Way to be a dad, bro. Way to be a dad. I don't think I'm that good of a father.
But I would agree that the superstar quarterback tier is Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, and Joe Burrow. I think there's room to discuss Joe Burrow, but I think that overall we say that those are the four. Franchise, but not superstar tier. I feel like it's a lot of young guys. Like right now, CJ Stroud is a franchise quarterback who is not a superstar.
Trevor Lawrence comes to mind. I'm trying to think if there are guys, it's probably just an aberration if it's happened, where a guy became a late in career superstar quarterback. Because I think we convince ourselves, particularly in this age where we are accepting of quarterbacks with some level of athleticism. And also we do a lot more analysis of offensive line and receivers and coaches. Like, it's so easy to convince ourselves that the reason why a superstar isn't a superstar is everything around them. But we kind of know when the superstar is a superstar.
So go back to who he said the superstar quarterbacks were.
Is Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, and Joe Burrow.
Yeah. I think we want Joe Burrow to be better than what he is. And I think he had a really good season. Now, injuries, we can say that. I mean, it's not my fault he got injured. So I can't, it's not his fault he got injured, I guess, but it's also not my fault. I can't be held accountable to put him in a list that he hasn't earned to be in. But I do like him. Elite quarterbacks go to the playoffs. Like, they don't win 5 games or however many games they won, especially when you have wide receivers that he has. But you give me Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, which is ironic because everybody wants to hate Lamar Jackson, but you can't. Lamar Jackson gives you an opportunity to win. And I think Josh Allen is a lot better than what just tremendously better than what everybody originally thought, because he was a gamble. That man said Trevor Lawrence, boy. Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, you are giving grace. You are giving grace.
I was kind of.
You said franchise or elite?
For the second batch of quarterbacks. Are you talking about
those 4 are the ones he said are elite, and the other ones are franchise quarterbacks? Yeah, correct. Okay. Well, yeah, Trevor. The contract states that Trevor's a franchise quarterback. The contract states that Dak is a franchise quarterback. Yeah. Hurts is a franchise quarterback. I think you have to give Hurts a little bit more props right now. We have to put him. He's top 10. He's not top 5, but he's Top 10. Outside of that, because you have to really, there aren't very many guys in the NFC that you just say, man, I gotta have that guy at quarterback. The best quarterback plays in the AFC right now. But
Well, technically, the top 4 quarterbacks play in the AFC.
Yeah. Without a doubt.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I think the Jalen Hurts slander is mind blowing to me that he wasn't even mentioned in the franchise race. I know, obviously, with the elite superstar level, I can see why people wouldn't place him there. But he's been to the finals. He's been to the championship twice, won one time. I think that says something, even though he does have Saquon, AJ Brown. Devontae Smith had a great defense. You know, he still had to throw the ball. He still balled out in the Super Bowl. So I just think the Jalen Hurts slander, not even slander, just lack of placement in these conversations is kind of worrisome to me. But anyways, we're gonna transition into Lamar Jackson. So we're previously talking about Lamar Jackson, and Lamar and 50 Cent have collabed to have Lamar star in his first ever acting role. Now, I know a lot of people were surprised by this, but Lamar is going to debut tonight on 50 Cent show Raising Kanan. So this was Lamar Jackson's post right here on Instagram. Quote, I'm so excited for fans to see me in this new role and thrilled to be a part of, quote, Power Book 3 Raising Kanan. My character, E-Tone, is a deadly, dangerous character. You do not want to get on his bad side. So, James, what do you think about Lamar expanding his roles to get to this acting role, to get in this new field?
Man, good for him, man. Make as much money as you want. Like, I'm going back and remembering, like, when, you know, superstar athletes were in, like, the B comedies and stuff like that. Like, Kobe Bryant had a lot of stuff that he was in. Shaq has been in stuff like not recurring roles, but like just one person. Like, they come in and like, hey, we're playing our 3v3 basketball team. I know who I'm going to get to make sure we win. Hey, Kobe Bryant. And then they stop. Yeah. Like Kobe Bryant just walking around going to go play at some elementary school's 3v3 basketball team against children. But it was terrible acting. So I expect this from, shout out to 50 Cent. He's going to do whatever he needs to do to be able to draw the people to be able to come in. I mean, he had, what's the chick with the big hands? Cash Doll was in something. Like, a lot of these, like JT was in something. Like, a lot of these people can't act. The only person he's ever hired that could act their ass off was Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar played the hell out of a crackhead, boy. That man's is a good crackhead. But how is a guy going to play a guy from Pompano, Florida, with a very Pompano, Florida accent, going to play a dude from the south side of Jamaica, Queens? I'm ready to. I am ready for this, for nothing more than that. It just sounds when. You know what? There's a movie called Bullet Train with Brad Pitt and Paperboy from Atlanta, who's very well trained actor. He's American. And he actually pulled. It's the first time I've seen, outside of Brad Pitt, an American pull off a British accent. The black dude, the black twin. He's Tangerine. Yeah, he's American. I think it was Tangerine, or was he Lemon? The other one was Tangerine. Yeah, he was Lemon. And he was very American. Did a very good job. Most Southerners can't do a Northern accent, and most Northerners can't do a Southern accent. It's the only people who can know how to do it are British people, and it bothers me when British people do it. But we'll see. I'm excited about this. Good for him. Hope he made a decent little check, and it opens him up to being able to do more things in the acting world.
Yeah. Speaking of the acting roles, the cameos, man. I remember when I first saw Kobe Bryant in that Moesha episode, man. That was a classic one right there. But yeah, shout out to all the athletes getting that chance to get in their acting roles. Next, we're going to discuss some NFL proposed rule changes per the NFL football operations Twitter. So I know we mentioned this before, but it is actually official that the Green Bay Packers has a club rule change proposal, quote, to prohibit an offensive player from pushing a teammate who was lined up directly behind the snapper and received the snap immediately.
Breaking news. The Giants have officially signed Jameis Winston to a 2-year, $8 million deal. Hey. Fucking like what they're doing. Who the fuck is Jameis's agent, man? It's a job. Come on, dog. Jameis Winston, $4 million a year, bro. Everybody else is getting. They can at least get my man over 10. But what I'm saying is Jameis took a $1 million a year deal in New Orleans. Like they are just, I get it. Like Jameis is doing that. Jameis is borderline shucking and jiving. I don't want my guy shucking and jiving, man. I want Jameis to be treated real, man. My bad. I just that threw me off, man. But congratulations to Jameis.
Huge shout out to Jameis. Oh, I got the picture right here. I'm pulling it up for you all right here before we get back into those rule changes. But like James said, it is officially official. 2 years. Like this picture is funny too.
It's like he's so serious. Oh my God! It's like when my baby boy is like trying to be like serious, like when he's playing a game and it's so funny. Like that's what Jameis is like watching a child play a game.
For sure. Next, we're going to get into just the recapping of this rule change proposal. So, yes, the Packers have tried to put in a proposal to ban the tush push. Next, we have the Detroit Lions to eliminate an automatic first down as a penalty imposed for defensive holding and illegal contact. This has stirred up a lot of controversy in the sports world, James, and I want to know your opinion on this proposal rule change right here to eliminate an automatic first down as a penalty imposed for defensive holding and illegal contact.
Nah, man, fuck that shit. You should be doing what you. If it comes down to it, you should be able to. It's illegal. Like a lot of teams are going to keep doing that just to be able to. They'll strategically get penalties to be able to just knowing that. So, we already have a rule of saying that 15 is better than 6. So now it's going to be like, imagine it's 3rd down and 6, right? And you got a guy, and your DB just got cooked, and I'm going to pull him down. I'm going to pull him down, knowing that now that I know that's not an automatic first down, I'm going to pull him down. Or I'm gonna get I'm gonna get my holding. I'm gonna get illegal contact. I'm gonna make sure, and then now it's gonna be a 5-yard penalty, and it's gonna be 3rd and 1, and it's a lot. Believe it or not, it's a lot harder, especially if you get rid of tush push. You just made things a lot harder. I think I just think it's funny. That way I get tush push a little bit. This one right here, nah, man, defense, you ain't getting that much.
Next thing we discuss is an Eagles proposal right here to align the postseason and regular season overtime rules by granting both teams an opportunity to possess the ball regardless of the outcome of the first possession, subject to a 15-minute overtime period in the regular season. I'm a fan of this one right here, me personally.
What do you mean? Like, as long as they don't score a touchdown?
No, it gives the both teams an opportunity to possess the ball. I think even if you score a touchdown.
No, man. I used to love the one. Get rid of. Do what you need to do in regulation. It used to be called sudden death, and I think that made the game more interesting. I kind of understand when you could just go down the field, run out time, and you can just kick a field goal and win it. But like. I kind of understood the rule when they say if you score unless you score a touchdown, the game you score a touchdown, the game is over. If you only kick a field goal, the other team has an opportunity. I think that's more than enough. Because where does it end? You drove down and you got an opportunity to score first, right? They stop you, or you kick a field goal, whatever. Let's just say the current rules: you kick a field goal. Now you get your second opportunity. Like if both teams don't score. One team is still going to get an unfair advantage, right? So, nah, I don't. No, I don't. Some of these games are too long anyway. Now they start bringing it back where the game is more physical, then I'm cool with that. That's really where the concessions need to be made at. That's when it'll be real popping. All right, we'll concede some of this shit. Let us bring the violence back. Let us be able to decapitate wide receivers going across the middle. Let us do more. And I'm willing to get with it.
We're going to wrap up our NFL segment with this video right here. Carolina Panthers wide receiver Xavier Legette recently got a Reese's partnership, and the partnership intro video is going to be funny like always. So enjoy this video of Legette and his country accent.
It's lava time, baby.
This here might be better than raccoon on Thanksgiving, man.
It's lava time, baby. It's lava time, baby. It is lava time, baby. Oh, yeah. It was lava time, baby.
That was me at the Reese's Peanut Butter. That was me at the Senior Bowl right there. Did you get one of them lavas, Jada?
Oh, yeah, it was definitely worth the hype. No, for sure. It's definitely smacking, for sure.
I think he's the best spokesperson that they could possibly give. Because he talks like a person that's got a mouthful of Reese's peanut butter in his mouth. Like that, he's definitely sounds like that. He's a perfect endorsement guy. Good for him, man. He's just a fun football player to like watch, man. I like him. So I think it's dope.
All right, we're going to get into our Big Games BS segment. We're going to run through these topics as well. Not too much to touch on. We got 3 topics to discuss. First things first, man. Got to talk about the Boston Celtics getting sold. So first things first, Bill Chisholm, managing partner at Symphony Technology Group, has agreed to purchase the Boston Celtics from the Grusbeck family for a valuation of $6.1 billion. Like I previously mentioned at the beginning of the show, this is now the largest sale for a sports franchise in North America. So talking about a money flip ROI right here, the Grusbecks purchased the Celtics for $360 million back in 2002, 23 years ago. And now in 2025, the family is selling for $6.1 billion. Man, that's a flip right there.
Yeah. Definitely that. Kudos to them. I didn't even know they were up for sale, but they just continue to reset the market. And I hope there's some former players or some people like that who are in on this deal to be able to make that. But NBA money, still crazy. So yeah.
Bronny had a career high against the Bucks, but he got a chance to play 30 minutes because the Lakers were getting destroyed by the Bucks. LeBron was out, Luka was out. I think Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura were out as well. So they took an L to the Bucks, 118-89. Yeah, a 29-point loss. But Bronny showed out having an NBA career high, 17 points, 5 assists, 7 for 10 from the field, 70%, which is great. 2 for 4 from 3 points, so 50% from 3. And he got a career high in minutes played as well. So the internet trolls had to take to Twitter. So Bronny has more career threes than Ben Simmons. So it's official, y'all. He has more career threes than Ben Simmons, only being a rookie. So shout out to Bronny, man. Keep proving the haters wrong. Keep balling, doing what you're doing. And to finish out today's show, we got to talk about Mina Kimes and Jackie Robinson.
Hold on, before we get into that, I just got a little quick thing. Resident hater and and just an overall hoe when it comes to it.
Dang.
Stephen A. Smith. I mean, he a good dude, but he a hoe with the way he acting right now.
LeBron James? Are you listening, James family? Are you listening, Rich Paul? Are you listening, all you people? Because here's my position. My position was all along, Bronny James needed to be in the G League. Put him in the G League, let him be in the G League his first year. And then after that, let him come on, because I've always believed that this kid has the potential, once I watched him, to be in the NBA. But what I saw last night made me say to myself, wait a minute. He keeps showing up and playing like that. JJ Redick and his staff obviously doing an exceptional job coaching him. The G Leaguers obviously doing a good job of preparing him. Him sitting on the bench, learning, watching the Lakers players, being in practice with them sometimes. Evidently, that seems to be working for him. And if that kind of stuff continues, then indeed he'll be in the league as a bona fide player sooner than later. One game does that make that determination. You need to.
Like, if you've been watching this man, the minutes that he gets in, he gets busy. And like, it's just the hate. Like, again, at some point, people got to say, you know what? I will never like him because of who his dad is. And I can respect that more. But like, you question this man as a father, and like, it's just like it was detrimental to his health. Hey man, get the fuck out of here, man. Like, this dude is Bronny's doing numbers, man. Good for Bronny. That's the first, when I saw that, the first thing I said is it couldn't have happened at a better time.
All the stuff he said about the father part that
Right. If he would have just not said, I'm coming to you as a father.
yeah.
Please do not do that. You are harming your son. Like, damn, dog, I'm coming to you as a father. Please do not put your son in a position to make millions of dollars and be able to score points. Please don't do that to your son. Like, oh my God, you're killing your, like, shut the fuck up. That's why I'm so happy. Like, a lot of these current players are being like, hey man, you a whole bitch. And just shut the fuck up. And that's all I'm saying. Just shut the fuck up. Un poquito. My bad. Go ahead. Like, what else we got, Jaden?
So to conclude the show, got to talk about Mina Kimes. She was recently on Around the Horn discussing the Department of Defense reading DEI verbiage / articles from their websites, and Jackie Robinson was a part of that. So like she mentions in the video, they put the article back up, but she was shedding light on the effects of this riddance of DEI, if you will, articles and stuff. And she just wants to shed light on this topic. And a lot of people on Twitter wanted her to get fired for shedding this light on Jackie Robinson and this. And what she said was not even as critical as someone like Stephen A. Smith said. Stephen A. Smith actually challenged Donald Trump to get on a podcast to discuss this. But Mina Kimes, she definitely broke it down very concisely. Huge fan of her, by the way, and she got so much hate for this from, the haters. But I want you, James, to listen to what she said and see if she deserved the hate.
Of diversity. So ESPN and others reported today that the Department of Defense, amidst an ongoing effort to purge government mentions of diversity, equity, inclusion, removed the website honoring Jackie Robinson's military service. It has since been restored, and their spokesperson, the Pentagon press secretary, said this: we do not view or highlight people such as Robinson through the prism of immutable characteristics such as race, amongst other things. So, look, Jackie Robinson was known for many things, but above all, first and foremost, it was his ongoing courage in the face of racial discrimination. In fact, in addition to crossing the color barrier in baseball, he served in a segregated unit in the Army, and in one instance refused to move to the back of the bus, was arrested and acquitted. That matters. That history cannot be erased, it cannot be undone, and it must be recognized to fully understand and celebrate his legacy.
Thanks.
I don't understand why her opinion is making people melt.
Dove Kleiman, one of the guys, our guy.
Dove Kleiman's one of the ones who melts it?
Yeah, Colin. He put a slick way, like, should Mina be fired for this? Type deal.
Oh, yeah, that's to get engagements. He's an engagement whore. I mean, I get that. But like, I always pose this question, because I have a lot of friends who are on all sides of it. And I always tell people, like, man, they get mad. One of the wildest things I've ever seen is when you calling somebody a racist, right? Really get some white people red. And I'm like, if that's the worst thing you've ever been called, you cool. You're okay. I was like, if you don't, either you are or you aren't. Like, you could prove that with facts. But I was like, but sometimes the stances that people take and the amount of energy you give it do not paint you in a light that separates you from people who are traditionally racist. What I mean by this, like, he served in a fucking segregated unit. What is segregation? Why did you need segregation in the Army? Because at one point, people were viewed as they were good or not good enough by their race, and it wasn't merit-based. You can actually take this as an opportunity to be able to show people, like, hey, we were like this, but now we're not. Like, you can actually argue the point that America is past this point, but you're so hell-bent on trying to erase America's wrongs that it really just perpetuates the fact that there is some bona fide fucking stupid ass racism. And that's just kind of what it is. And was he more than a black baseball player and a black person in the Army? Yeah. But was he that? Yeah. My mom was the first person in my immediate family that attended a non-segregated school? Yeah. That's the truth. My mom grew up in a time that's one generation removed. Like, where people were such snowflakes that they melted down if you drank the same water fountain. And the crazy part is, they're literally going through the process of bringing this back. You just wait. Just wait 5 minutes. But we're doing the most right now, and it's to the point where people just want to argue. Like, the people who say, this is what's wild. People will say things like, I want to keep politics out of sports, right? Or don't bring this. I'm gonna read you this Facebook post that I put a year. Damn, every Cybertruck being recalled, and the 8th recall in a year. That's wild. That's a statement, right? Is there anything political in that statement? Is there anything in me saying that I hate Elon Musk in that statement? No, I'm just saying, in that statement is just this. It's facts. They have asked every Cybertruck to come back because they're missing a part, a major part, like a part, not missing a part, like a part could just fall off while you're in the middle of driving. It's literally a road hazard. Good friend of mine put, Elon owns 13% of Tesla. Okay. I didn't say shit about that. Then they put you probably had one until Elon decided to help find out where all our money is going. What's crazy is the left just loved this man when they were trying to roll out that green and new energy deal. Like, you know what these people are doing? They're politicizing a statement that had nothing to do with it, because internally they want a battle to fight. Like, you're fighting Jackie Robinson. Like, your DEI measures are so out of control that it immediately went after an American icon. Right. Like, that's the wild part. It's like, you can't see, like, wait a minute, maybe we just put this out here and it was too out of control, right? Because, like, damn, that we probably don't want that. It's not just there. At the damn, I can't think of the graveyard in Arlington. The Arlington Cemetery. They took Colin Powell out off the website. They took some of the most iconic generals out. Like, just because it's out of control, like, you wouldn't have to make that adjustment if you would just kind of like reel it in for a second. That's the real big deal in all of this.
I think the excuse that they made was that it was somehow part of, basically, that it's become part of their algorithm. It was a computing mistake,
which is the problem.
Right. Exactly.
That's the problem. Is your how can your algorithm be that? Like, you need to adjust the algorithm.
If you don't believe in systematic racism, That's it.
That's systemic racism. You literally put all of this stuff into a computer and it did that. That's the whole point of systemic racism. It's not even to like rub your nose in it like you're a dog, like it try to get you. It's just to say, hey, man, like it's a little wild out here. It's a little wild out here. And it was a little wild back in the day. Like, you know, like imagine my grandmother, like seeing this shit. She was alive, right? And my grandmother was alive was in a world where she had no reproductive rights, right? She was alive in a world where she had to use a separate toilet and a separate water fountain. She was alive at a time when she couldn't just walk into every restaurant. Then it changed a little bit. It was like a 180, right? She had her reproductive rights, which she never got an abortion, from what I understand. She was able to fly on a plane with white people and ride a bus and do all these other different things. And like one of the funniest things you can see is like when they show like black people finally being able to eat at white restaurants and being like, this is what we fought for. This food is terrible. Like she sees the world change. She sees it actually, she sees America exceptionalism grow and us blow up and do these different things. And now she's seeing the very laws that she saw get retroactively get taken out. Like that's wild. And people argue that, I'm just like, bro, I remember telling an old white guy, he got mad. He was like, you don't know what it's like. I said, trade with me. I'll trade with you today. At that time, I was like, I'm a young black guy with good credit, played at Florida State and all this shit. I will trade my life right now for your old ass white life. I was like, I said, because I promise you wouldn't want to walk a day in my shoes, as cool as you think it is. And that's not to tell he's not a racist. It's just stating that, hey, there are some things that are a little wild. And one of the craziest things, white people don't want to get blamed for things that their ancestors did, but are quick to blame, or what other white people did, but are quick to blame you and hold you accountable for shit that other black people did. Like, well, look at this black person. That black person's from LA, dog. I ain't never been to LA. I don't know what the fuck they do out there. That shit wild to me too. Prosecute them. They'll always, like when I brought up the you know, all the things that my blood friends get mad about with boycotting, like they boycotted in the last couple of years. They boycotted Bud Light. They say they boycott the NFL. They boycotted they boycotted a lot of shit. As a matter of fact, the original cancel culture started with Republicans canceling the Dixie Chicks. Like they threatened to boycott Target because they had DEI stuff, and then Target dropped it, and then the left boycotted them for that or whatever. But then somebody says boycott Tesla, and then like they're like, and then somebody put, well, no, none of those boycotts encourage burning things. I'm like, well, shit, if they burn this shit, prosecute them to the full extent of the law. But I ain't finna cry about it. In fact, I'm about to go buy some. I'm gonna be honest with you. You know what I'm gonna buy? Tesla stock, because I know it's gonna go back up. But just, it's the snowflakeism to make mid white men, like average white men, feel better about themselves is crazy. Like, and because that's what it really comes down to. And I'm not talking about all, I'm just talking about the average one. There's some very exceptional white people, but there is some fucking mid out here, and y'all are like losing your fucking mind. I have lost job, not lost a job. I have not been put on a pet. You want to see mid white men? Listen to 1010 XL in Jacksonville. There is nothing but, there's a lot of fucking average white men on that station. Matter of fact, I think one of them's talking at the same time that I'm talking at right now. That doesn't mean he doesn't work hard. He's just not good. But that's the person that will believe that somebody's taking their job. I'll never forget when the guy Chad Scott, we were talking about this, and I'm gonna just let you guys know what the world is like. I was at 1010. The world was I think the shit the dude was on the guy's neck or whatever. Like I forgot his name, but like the world was it was in a bad spot. It looked like it was during the shutdown. I was like, black people don't want you to write letters and make statements. We want fucking jobs. Like we want to actually feel like we have a fighting chance. I said, like, how do you get a job at 1010? And he said, well, sometimes, James, it's like this. Leon, seriously, he was a 3-time national champion, first-round draft pick. He was an all-pro, played over 10 years in the NFL between the Steelers and the Jaguars. And then there's you. You're a 3-time ACC winner. You played for Florida State. You played with the Saints. Those are, just, accolades. And then there's such and such, and he was just an intern here and just hung around and got a job eventually. And then there was the girl, and she came to a show, and one of our guys took a liking to her. And then there was another guy, he was just around. Those are 3 prominent names that are on their roster. Have you heard anything? Like, crush me in the comments if there's anything exceptional about what the fuck they did in their resume. He didn't say anything about them going to journalism school. He didn't say anything about them doing anything. They were just white and in the right place. Meanwhile, did you listen to the resume of the black guys? We were exceptional Negroes, and only one of them still at the station. But you know what I'm saying? But people want to talk about DEI hires. Which one sounds like a DEI hire? The things that you guys that they have convinced you to be afraid of are not real, are not fucking real. And if anything, the people who understand what you actually are they've convinced you of being afraid of are the very ones that they're telling you are the ones who are getting hired while they're incompetent. And what's crazy is everybody knows that you got a job, because I've heard you complain about it, is you all have people who you work with that who are in positions of authority that are fucking stupid. I don't know, man. Outside of that, that's probably the boys' pizza right there. I ain't got nothing else outside of that, Jaden. But Dove, fuck Dove for that. That was a stupid engagement farming. And anybody who thinks Mina Kimes isn't good at her job or deserves to be fired because of that statement is fucking reaching. Now, there might be other statements that she's made that are fucking dumb, just not that one.
Yep, that's all I had.
Well, outside of that, man, I hope everybody's been enjoying their week. We got a lot of good content coming up here. Make sure you go check out the page and some of the other things that we've done. Check out the reels. Jaden, Miles, and crew have been doing a really, really good job. We continue to want to keep working hard and bringing you unique content with unique perspectives, especially with Jazz going into training camp coming up. We have OTAs, we have March Madness, we have different pro days, the draft coming up. We do want to consistently be able to get you the best of the best in everything that you desire. So on that note, make sure you continue to check out the bracketology for that. For those people who are competing for that, continue to be a member. We're on our road to get to 10,000 subs. So if you're watching this on Twitter, please consider going to YouTube. We'll give away once we get to 7,000 subs, we'll give away $500 to the lucky listener of Big Games BS, along with $200 to a member, and going all the way up to, we don't do this anymore, but at 10,000 subs, we will give away the cash prize as well as a pair of season tickets to anybody's favorite team, as long as it's not the Florida Gators. On that note, appreciate you guys for chopping it up with me. We will see you guys next time.